The question of the day is, who are you? Who the bleep are you? Tell me three things that makes you feel good about yourself, void of aesthetics, possessions, and skill sets. Void of aesthetics, possessions, and skill sets. What is it that you would like other people to notice about you? And are those the things that you take comfort in noticing about other people? There's no right or wrong answer here. However, there's a real you and there's an artificial you. The artificial you fights for its own existence and actually finds other artificial selves to attach itself to. This is why and how society becomes plagued with cults, cliques, and classes. A team of artificial selves collectively finds importance in having adversaries, people to go against. Usually, those adversaries are other artificial senses of selves that are collectively sharing opposing views and condemn their adversaries for being just as faulty as they themselves are. This happens with political groups, religious groups, racial groups, and even small social circles within those groups. The sad fact of the matter is that people are afraid of being left alone in their own thoughts because being alone in their own thoughts gives them nothing but time to reflect on the being that exists behind the mask of their artificial self. And that is the real self. That's the real self that only the real you can identify with. When people find themselves facing their real selves, they feel guilt, they feel shame, they feel conviction. Now tell me, who or what else can erect these emotions in someone besides something or someone with power and respect? The real you doesn't recognize the false you. And the only time that you ever seem to listen to the real you is when it's recognizing the artificial selves of other people. The most detrimental action that we can do to ourselves is underestimate the powers and the abilities of our real selves. But strategically, layers were put into place of noise to drown out the voice of our real selves. You were given society's superficial standards to live up to, which schisms into racial identity, nationality, political affiliation, religion, geographical location, aesthetics, material possessions, and the list goes on and on. Little do you know, you're way more powerful than those things that you identify yourself with. You are a conscious being of light and a spiritual reflection of the universe. You are more than just a label and a holder of things. You are all that was, all there is, and all that there ever will be, experiencing an ever changing presence of your own manifestation. The elites are well aware of this and see the true value of the real you that you don't see for yourself. The elites are more afraid of you finding the real you than you are facing the real you. The artificial you seeks approval from others. The artificial you can be manipulated to devalue your life and risk destroying it just to fulfill a superficial need to belong. This is why the dreams of most people revolves around financial and material wealth more than they do their own immortality. Access to an abundance of wealth will afford us the mansions, the yachts, the sports cars, and the affordability to live X-rated fantasies with swimsuit models. Now, it does feel good to have your ego stroked because your ego is the embodiment of the artificial you. The artificial you never celebrates for any selfless reasons because the artificial you is self-serving. Now, let's take, for instance, if you gave some money to a homeless person today or volunteered your time to help the underprivileged. That wasn't about your compassion. That was all about the artificial you. Your actions enabled the artificial you to feel appreciation and a sense of empowerment, being that you were in a better position than those poor people that you helped. Let's just say that you did it for reasons of good karma. Once again, this was an action, a good action towards others. that you expected the universe to reciprocate with a good action towards yourself. The elites are very familiar with the artificial you. They are afraid of the real you. The real you cannot be manipulated to practice counterproductive pride, participate in herd conformity, or subject your life to be sacrificed in war. In order to place you in such a position, they would have to convince you that the real you does not exist. The artificial you would be convinced that the only value that you have is the value that others place in you. You will feel a conviction from deep within when you're left alone to analyze what value can be placed in you that doesn't exist in you already. Because the real you is about preserving your connection with this realm. The artificial you will amplify the voices of an outside influence when they call you a coward, a traitor, or treasonous if you acknowledge and act on the voice of the real you. The biggest lie that we could ever tell ourselves is that we have the inability to be perfect, which is ironic, being that we are manifestations of a perfect creator. With that being said, we should never underestimate our own abilities, nor doubt the power that exists within us all, which is our true selves that we are afraid to get to know. So I will ask you once again, who are you? Who the bleep are you? I'm Uncle Ricky of the Philosophical and Spiritual Healing Podcast. Be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment in the comment section below letting me know your thoughts. And until the next time, peace be unto you.